now, your main event. Introducing the hosts of Wrestling with Freddie, Jeff Dye, and Freddie Prinze Jr.
Mr. Jeff, how was your weekend, sir? We were almost in New York at the same time and almost got to hang, but this business rarely allows that to happen.
I was coming right as you were going. That's what happened. New York City.
Yeah, man. Right. How was New York for you, man?
We're both not New York guys.
Nah, not really. Not
also,
anymore. Back in the day, I liked it.
Yeah, I think it's fun for like a few days or whatever if you're with the right person, but just in general. When I was there, it rained like crazy. Did you get any of the rain?
I missed all the rain. Everyone said how lucky I was. I brought the California sunshine. I bring it wherever I go, baby. I went to Scotland for a week and it didn't rain. In Scotland. Wow. That's how much sunshine your boy brings to the table.
I'm from Seattle, Washington. I have never seen rain like what happened in New York. Though,
I saw a subway video.
The water was my boots were I ruined a pair of cowboy boots. It just like sloshed around the water. We were completely drenched. It was wild.
I think I got to get me some cowboy boots, Jim.
Yeah, let's get you some cowboy boots.
I've always kind of wanted them. Not always. Once I started working WWE, I saw like all these guys with these cool, like broken in, really good looking boots. And I was like, man, those look good, but I feel like a jackass or they look uncomfortable.
You look good.
And they're all like, nah, man, they're really comfortable. But I got flat feet. So do they make them for people with flat feet?
Yeah. Also, you're, what are you, like 6'4", 6'5"? What are you?
No, I'm 6'1", bro. 6'1"? I'm not Jeff.
I thought you were like tall, taller than. I thought we were the same height. It doesn't matter. When you wear cowboy boots, you that extra that it gives you, you're like, oh my god. Because I'm 6'4", but when I'm wearing those cowboy boots, I'm like almost 6'5.5", and it's like people are like, I didn't remember you being this big. I'm like, well, it's kind of cheating a little bit, but
you're like, yeah, I can dunk too. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it feels good.
All right, let's get to it, you guys. We're gonna start. We'll do this week's show in order. What do you know about that? We're going to talk some Monday Night Raw with Naomi, the trickster. Tricked everybody's ass and got herself the Women's World Championship on Monday Night Raw and came out, and I think she's doing a great job with her promos, man. Her acting is much stronger than it was back in the day. Everybody grows, right? But to see that kind of growth from someone like when I worked with her, they wouldn't let her even get a chance to get any experience on the mic at all. Like it was just like, nope, she's young, she doesn't get to talk. Too bad, so sad. And to see her go from that to having the mic and the championship around her waist and talking shit to the crowd and then loving some of the stuff they say, telling them F you again, talking shit to EO, talking shit to Rhea. Her promos to Bianca were good when she went a little crazy and was like, yeah, I broke in your house, bitch. I broke in your house and looked through your fucking pictures. What do you know about that, bitch? Like, all that stuff was real good. Her stuff with Jade was real good. I really like what Naomi's doing. I think she looks cool. I at first hated the caution tape. I was like, it looks cheap, but they changed it. It doesn't look cheap anymore. It looks cool, and I was digging that too. It's very old school, very 80s, but I'm an old guy. I'm almost 50 years old.
I love the gimmick stuff.
You're an old soul, though, dude. You're an old soul. You like all that stuff. But yeah, so she came in there, and we ended up getting a triple threat between Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, and Naomi. But I just wanted to focus on Naomi's part of it, because I think she's doing such a good job, and I'm really happy for her. But did anything stand out in that segment for you?
No, I agree 100%. The only reason I pushed back on that caution tape before is just because I'm one of these dorks who's like, I don't like seeing something they've already done in any way. Like if it even remotely reminds me of something else, I get all upset about it. Not to mention that people think it's okay if a female wrestler just does something that a male wrestler did. And I'm always like, but that's already been done. It doesn't mean just because she's a girl, she can repeat the thing. And so that's all I was, but I think it does look good. And I agree with you 100%. They've been adjusting it a little bit and it looks nice.
Yeah. Art's a weird thing, man. Cause I've always been of the opinion, I don't mind when something reminds me of something else. I like tribute. I like inspiration. I like homage. I mean, Star Wars wasn't original. Just watch Hidden Fortress. It's an old Japanese movie. That's where George got the idea. You know what I mean? So it's like, for me, I've always kind of looked at it that way. But most of my friends are as far as their view on art, they don't want to see the same thing twice. They don't want to see even the remotely same thing twice.
It can't be too much.
They want art to be new and fresh and sometimes shocking and sometimes revolting, but they want it to be new and different. They don't want to see like inspirations of the past. So I get both sides of it. I'm just on the other side.
I don't like cover bands. I don't like someone cosplaying. I don't like that. Like
you don't like cosplay.
Just because Harley Quinn
amazing.
Was the most famous female superhero, anti-hero kind of whatever for a few years. We had Liv Morgan and Alexa Bliss dressing up like her for 2 years in wrestling. Like, I don't like a copy of a thing, even if we know what they're copying. Does that make sense? So
I totally get it. I don't like that.
I can't just make a movie, called I Know What You Did Last Spring and then pretend like I didn't know that they already had I Know What You Did Last. It's like, you know what I'm saying?
But they did parody movies about that. They did. The Wayans did.
Yeah, but that's funny because now you're doing like a stick.
But it's okay. All right. Fair enough. I got you.
Yeah, like if there's some sort of tie between Naomi and Owen Hart, and that's why the caution tape. Then I go, oh, I get it. I like that. Like what the way Natty wears, the Hart Foundation kind of gear or colors and design. Then I get it. I'm like, there's a link there. Her dad was Jim the Anvil Neidhart.
Do you mind it in movies, like when directors replicate shots from their favorite movies or kind of do their version of their favorite movies? Does that bother you? Or
I've
is
never
that
even seen. I'm so ignorant that
into?
it's even happening. I guess that.
So if you're not keyed into it, if you're not keyed into it, then it would go through. So yeah, no, I feel you, dude. I get where you're coming from. I'm picking up what you're laying down. So Braun Breaker, gauntlet match. I thought this was going to go in a way different direction with the Seth Rollins injury. I thought he was going to win this whole thing. I thought he was going to go and beat Gunther. And then when Seth came back, he was going to cash in on Braun and try to turn him out for taking the mic a couple weeks ago and just kind of like doing his own thing and not respecting the authority figure that Seth Rollins is. So I thought they were going to have him kill everybody like they've been doing. Just kill you. You're dead. You're dead. You're dead. And then here comes CM Punk. And as soon as CM Punk was last, I was like, yeah, I don't think my booking is going to hold up because CM Punk.
I didn't know he was going to be in here.
Yeah, he's gonna be in a big pay-per-view before Braun is. CM Punk came in, and it's going to be Gunther versus Punk. We'll get in next week. We'll do our prediction show because SummerSlam is a quick turnaround from that last weekend of wrestling. But they're throwing a whole bunch of stuff in here. I think it's a 2-day event, so they have to. So we're going to get a lot of story pushed in. It's not all going to be great story because it's going to be rushed, but they're doing their best with it here. CM Punk will cut a sweet promo, as he always does, but I don't think he can win I always say this. I say this every time he's in a match, and then he always wins, but I don't think he's going to win it. What'd you think about the gauntlet? And what'd you think about my booking? Did you think that was awesome or shit?
I thought it was awesome. Here's the thing. Here's the problem with this. Is that everyone in that gauntlet match is people I like, with the exception of Jey Uso. If LA Knight wins, I go, yeah, I told you. But if Penta wins, I'm like, I told you. And like CM Punk, Braun Breaker, yeah. I'm Mr. All those guys. Whenever I'm talking about Braun Breaker, I forget how much I love Penta. Whenever I'm talking about Penta, I forget how much I love LA Knight. Like, that was like so exciting for me. I did feel the exact same thing you felt when CM Punk came out. I was like, all right, yeah. This is because it goes back to my
end of the road, Mr.
Yeah,
Breaker.
Me always griping about predictability, and I was like, all right, yeah, with SummerSlam and everything. So, but I liked it, and it was great. And I think that WWE maybe have a blessing in disguise with this Seth Rollins thing because it's really forcing him to get creative and have to write stuff that we didn't predict.
I have a question for you because I think there's some people out there that are now starting to think maybe the injury is not real.
Mm-hmm. It's real.
What do you think it's real? Okay,
it's 100% real, and also just so unfortunate.
You're our man in the field.
Well, I feel bad for Seth. I feel bad for these WWE writers that are probably working a little harder now. It's just unfortunate, because you got the guy that has everything. They're giving him everything. He's kind of. Despite what anyone thinks about Seth Rollins and his career, he's doing his best work now. And so to have a knee injury when you've got the Money in the Bank, you've got a super team, you've got the wise man. It's it's really, really unfortunate. And anybody who thinks that this is a work so that he can cash in the Money in the Bank, you're just trying to manifest what you wish was happening. We all wish Seth wasn't injured, but he's just injured. I'm sorry. We all are like, maybe a work? Please be a work. Is it a work? It's not a work.
Roman Reigns came in at the end of the match. Everybody was really, really happy. Everybody knew he was coming. Pretty sure he was advertised he was coming. I hated when they did that when I worked there. I'm like, you're advertising the crowd. They're going to give away the surprise. And it's like, no, they're not giving it away. I'm like, they're chanting his name. They're chanting his name. What do you mean that it's not giving it away? So he came in. He killed everybody. And then him and CM Punk had a moment of like, yeah, I didn't forget War Games. And Punk's like, well, are we cool? And Roman's like, we're not cool, but I didn't forget it. And he's like, all right, cool. That's good enough for me. And then they were bros, I guess. Not a ton of story they can do here because, again, SummerSlam's just 2 weeks away, and Roman Reigns is going to be, what's his character in Street Fighter? Akuma? Is that the character that he's going to play?
I don't know what that is. Akuma.
Akuma's from like one of the later Street Fighters. It was like when after Street Fighter 2 kind of blew up, right? And then they started making them again and again and again and again because it was way more successful than the first one.
Right.
And they introduced this character named Akuma, who was badass, and he would like light on fire. I don't know why I remember this game. I think Street Fighter. I wasn't a Mortal Kombat guy. I was a Street Fighter guy. Yeah, Akuma. And
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I don't know how much story they can do with him because he's going to be making movies, man. He's going to not have to get beat up for a living anymore. He can just pretend to get beat up. Right? You agree, right, Rob? They can't do a story here. There's not enough time.
Yeah, I don't know how.
But it'll be a fun tag match.
Isn't a few wrestlers in that Street Fighter movie?
Is Cody Rhodes Guile maybe?
Yeah,
that would be cool. And I saw Cody on Friday Night SmackDown with that wig for the Naked Gun movie. He looked mad funny in that wig. All right. Anyway.
Also, hey, let's go on. Let's talk about this subject since you're in the movie industry. This is something you can speak to. I mean, how long does it really take to shoot a movie when it's not like he's the lead. It's not Forrest Gump, like he's a character in a movie that's a big budget. This is going to be a big cash grab Street Fighter nostalgia movie. So it's like, how long is he really going to be on set? Like 3 weeks, 2 weeks? It's not.
So here's the thing, and it's different. Every case is different because every role is different and every script is different, right? And every budget is different. So Street Fighter is going to be a big budget movie, which means they may ask him to bend to the schedule, meaning, hey, you're going to be out, you're going to work 8 days, but it's going to be spread out over a full month. Can you come to Australia and do that? And if that's the case, if it's a big enough movie or if they're willing to buy things out or if WWE's just mad cool and they're saying, giving him some time off because his time there is getting, nearer to an end, and he's starting to make the transition, then it can be 4 weeks. If he's the lead of it, it could be 3 months. If it's the Cody Rhodes like bartender role in Naked Gun, it's a day. He's there a day, he's out, boom, done, shot it, got in, got out. That's a wrap. So it just depends on all those things. We can talk more about like budgets and stuff and how they affect movies and all that on the Thursday show if you guys are into hearing that kind of crapola. But yeah, so it just depends how big the role of Akuma is going to be. I don't imagine it being that big.
Can't imagine it being that big.
So I think it'll be like a 3-week job, you know what I mean? And he'll get in there and get out. But there might be like rehearsals and all that stuff, and the fight scene rehearsals sometimes take a couple weeks. So it could be up to 5-6 weeks with all that kind of crap. Because you got to learn how to make the fight look sweet.
Well, I guess that answers that, because I just remember Liv Morgan booked a movie, and they did all this, like, Liv Morgan is getting the role of a lifetime. They'd be stupid to not let her have this. It's a role, oh my gosh, you guys, there's going to be a huge announcement, and I thought she's going to play, Mary Jane or something in the next Spider-Man. Like, the way they made it sound was like she was going to do the biggest film in the world. And then when they announced the director in the film, I was like, I don't know anything about this. And they're like, she's going to be shooting on set. She was gone like a week and a half. And it's like, why did we even hear about this movie? Like, it affected nothing.
Ben, they promote themselves. You know they do this all the time. They're always going to self-promote.
I thought it was corny.
It's the circus business, man. So, they got any opportunity they have to get new eyeballs and say, look, we are cool. We're not just this. We're also this. They're always going to take advantage. That said, I agree with you. It can be corny. However, I will say this. Not every movie is going to be huge like Spider-Man. Sometimes you might book an indie movie and you're still super hyped for it. So don't be a hater, bro.
Well, you know what I am? I'm that, like, drunk city guy wandering through the circus going, wait a minute. That's not a real bearded lady. It's the beard is hey, they're tricking me, when the circus tricks me. And if they better really trick me. I don't need to be finding out that they're tricking me,
Look, we get it. You don't like the circus. You're not into animals.
Hey.
Cruelty.
Oh, yeah.
Cruelty, right?
Cruelty,
See? I had a weird pause there, but I came in at the end, saved it. So you don't like the circus. That's fine, man. We'll move on. Look, we had Lyra Valkyria and Bayley 2 out of 3 falls match. I'm not that invested in this. If you want to talk about it, we can, but I don't have a lot of emotion.
I like one thing that they're doing is that they're making Bayley's real life thing into the story, which I like that. They took a thing that she doesn't like, that she's not being booked, and that she was yammering about it, like in these interviews and things. And so now they're putting that into the story, like of her being like, well, I'm available. Like I kind of do like that, but other than that, it doesn't do much for me.
Here's some SummerSlam matches that came out of last week's Monday Night Raw. We got Gunther versus CM Punk. We talked to you about that. He won the gauntlet. Of course he did. We've got Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria once again. We'll see what happens. They seem to like Lyra, so maybe she gets another win on Becky. Becky did some shenanigans, some shady shit in order to get the win. She couldn't beat her straight up. So could this be the time she gets the straight up victory? We don't know. I'll probably get that one wrong. I don't know what I'm going to do on that. We also got Naomi versus Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky, triple threat. This match is going to be so sick. I feel like every time Io does a pay-per-view, everyone remembers how sick of a wrestler she is and how awesome some of her moves are and how unique some of her moves are. And that's why she keeps winning this championship, even though English isn't her first language. Mm-hmm. And she can't always, communicate as well as someone top shelf like Rhea Ripley or something like that. But that's why they keep giving it to her, because she gives these crazy matches that just makes everybody look great. So good opportunity there. That might be our bet of the week, but we'll get into that on next week's show. We got SmackDown, Jeff. That son of a bitch Solo Sikoa tried to frame your guy and my guy, Jacob Fatu, the Samoan werewolf. They started the show with a car crash, not figuratively, but literally. And Solo's pissed off, and he's like, yo, man, we got to get the cops. And Tonga, he's bleeding. And the big guy, I can't remember his name yet. It'll become more familiar once he's on TV more. But he's bummed out. He's like, oh, man, I'm bummed out. And Kathy Kelly's on the scene, investigative reporter, super professional. And she's talking to Adam Pearce, and Adam Pearce is being as professional as he can be. And he's like, look, we're getting all the information we can, Kelly, but right now you gotta F off. And she's like, all right, I'll F off. Back to you guys. And then they start the show. So we get some soap opera drama. And that's, by the way, the end of the story. The cool part was when the cops came to talk to Jacob Fatu, and he called him some punk-ass police.
Yeah.
That was money. I was like, yo, you can't talk to the cops like that, man. Are you crazy? They're going to lock you up. So that part was great. And then Solo came out to cut a promo. He was going to get his ass kicked. And Jacob Fatu came out and was like, yo, man, I saw some video from Adam Pearce, and you set all this shit up just to make me look bad, try to get me arrested. Now we're going to go to jail, all right. We're going to go to jail in a steel cage with the U.S. title on the line at SummerSlam, baby. And they all fought. And Jimmy Uso came out, and he's like, yo, I got your back, too. We'll kick these guys' ass. So we got that match coming up. This isn't the strongest the Bloodline story has been, right? Because Solo's still new. He doesn't have the 10 years experience that Roman had to get that ill on the mic. And it's not an A story because it's not an A title. So he's not getting that kind of love and treatment. I will say this. From where Solo started to where he is now is probably one of the quickest demonstrations of like growth that I can remember seeing. And I'm not going to say ever because there's always someone, But I don't remember the last time I saw someone go from not being able to talk to being able to communicate a segment and get it through. It's not always the best, but he's able to communicate and get it through. And this is to make Jacob the champ once again and to make him look good. Or maybe they're trying to strengthen the bloodline again. I don't know if that would be the right direction, or at least not the direction I would like to see. I want to see Jacob win. But that was the story, and it's getting us to a steel cage match. It's not the best story, but they're committed to it. And since they're committed to it, it's easier for me to commit to it. So I'm with it, and I'm looking forward to the match. What about you, dude?
I'm excited about it just because steel cage. I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I knew you'd say that.
Also, Solo
if it was Punjabi prison, you'd be happy.
If we could just get to that. That's next. The thing with Solo Sikoa is like he went from literally being no one knows in WWE. He's not a household name at all. He's just like literally whatever. To being in the bloodline. We see him every single night in the bloodline. And it was like, I think the quickest I've ever seen a wrestler go from nothing to like right in the mix. That being said, it doesn't mean he's ready to be the leader of a stable. And so like that's what's been a tough adjustment is like Solo trying to lead the bloodline. There's a difference between him being in the bloodline and being like a main guy to like trying to be the leader of all these guys. And it's been at times comedic watching this try to, live on. I think that what they're doing right now is fun. They're taking big swings, the police coming out, all this kind of stuff. I'm here for it. I think a steel cage, getting arrested, framing, all these kind of different things, like it's great. Take big swings and I'm here for it. I love it.
It's interesting what you said, the not being ready part, because it's almost like life imitating art, or art imitating life, I guess, in this case, because the story is the same. Is this character ready to lead the bloodline? He failed with Jacob. Mm-hmm. Is he going to fail with these guys? If guys get hurt, does he have someone else he can bring in? He failed against Roman. He's not ready to lead. And that's kind of the story that they're telling as well. So that it is kind of both at the same time. Or 10,000 joys like and 10,000 sorrows. Yeah, I think so. All right. Finally, Cody Rhodes, John Cena. John Cena came out ready to sign the contract, but he had a message for the WWE universe, and he was, look, I would love to wrestle, but I can't do it. I can't be there. I'm sorry. I know you're mad. Don't be upset. And I'm thinking, he's injured. Poor guy. No, not injured. I got to do something a little more important than represent this. I got to film. I got some movies to make with Idris Elba on a streaming service instead of in a movie theater. Don't know why we still do that. Streaming should be for television. Movies should be in theaters, but that's another conversation.
I love that.
And for stand-up comedy specials. But although those should be in theaters too, like in the old days, that would be so fucking badass. Sorry for cursing. But anyway, he's filming, so he's busy, you guys. He can't show up. He can't be there, and it let the fans down. It let me down. I know it let Jeff and Alex down, but most importantly, it let Cody down. And he sensed we were upset, so he ran out of the ring, chased John Cena down, punched him in the head 5 times, punched his head into the ring 1 time, threw him in the ring, beat his ass some more, laid him up on a table, because John Cena's not going to sign the contract. What kind of champion doesn't sign the contract, you little punk-ass bitch? And then that's what Cody called him. And then Cody climbs up on the top turnbuckle with the contract in his hand for some reason, and he jumps off, and splash, lands right on John Cena. It was a beautiful splash, by the way, beautiful table break. It looked so good. And then he makes John Cena, he puts the pen in John Cena's hand, who's unconscious because he got splashed, and he makes him sign the contract, John Cena. Here's the problem. That's illegal.
Yeah,
that's not illegal. That's not a legal contract. If I'm John Cena, I'm like, man, you make me sign whatever you want, dude. You forced that. I'm not wrestling you. So I don't know where this goes from here, because they booked it. They were like, nope, it's booked. It's a street fight. It's not just a regular match. So this is booked. But if I'm John Cena, I'm like, man, that's under duress, to say the least.
This is the double turn, right? I mean, is this what we're seeing? Are we seeing the?
I don't think Cody's gonna turn. I'm hearing that a lot, but I don't. Go ahead, state your case though.
I'm just asking you because hitting the guy, because it was a very heel move to like blast him the way that like John Cena's been hitting everyone with his belt.
I thought he deserved it.
Well, I think you can make a case for a lot of things we deserve the face shouldn't be doing. Like a lot. The what we deserve.
Are you saying I have heel tendencies? Is that what you're saying?
We all have heel tendencies, and we can't act on them, Freddie. That's the thing. If you're going to be the face, you don't get to act on your heel temptations.
You got to swallow your pride.
It was very strange. Or telling that he did that and made him sign the thing. It's gonna make John Cena look like a good guy. I think. I don't know. I'm wondering if they're gonna do that.
I don't know. See, when I worked there, we pitched a John Cena heel turn like every 4 months, and it was never gonna happen. And so I think I'm conditioned to say, well, if you're the face of it, you don't turn, right? Because John Cena never turned until he left and then did this little run here. And early in his career, before he was John Cena, when he was like, I'm John Cena, then he was kind of heelish. But Cody, I think, as the face, you can't, I think, from like the corporate perspective in a publicly traded company, that you keep him clean as a whistle. You're just toughening Cody up when you do moments like this because he's not like the biggest dude, right? Yeah. So it makes him look tough to beat some ass once in a while. Sometimes I think he can lose it in traffic and give a guy the finger out of his Lamborghini or whatever sweet ass car Cody Rhodes drives. So I don't know, man. I'm not on that boat yet. I think Cody's still going to be the face, and I think the whole reason John did this was to get to be a heel, just to have fun. But that's just my opinion.
Here's the thing.
I don't know. I'm wrong all the time.
I didn't come to this conclusion on my own. I'll say that. Someone in my wrestling text thread said, why was Cody Rhodes wearing The Rock's glasses? He had the same. Cody Rhodes doesn't wear glasses. Oh. And then he's wearing the same glasses as The Rock.
I didn't notice
when The Rock came back and was doing his, his bad guy rock stuff. And then he also, I'm a big watch boy. I love timepieces. Cody Rhodes was wearing the same watch that The Rock was wearing.
Come on, that's so many coincidences.
And I said to myself, I don't know. And I like Googled and trying to find things on Reddit. And it seems like there's a little bit of a rumbling about that. Is this the soul? Did he? The Rock is kind of tainting Cody Rhodes.
Very interesting. Muy interesante. I did not know that. I'm going to have to keep my eyes peeled for that stuff. Look at all those hawks out there. A bunch of hawks. Eggs. I like it. I like it very much. So here's the matches that we're going to see at SummerSlam based on the week in WWE. We got Solo versus Jacob in a steel cage match. What? That match is going to be awesome. He's going to do his freaking finisher from the top of the cage. You know he's going to do it and do a full moonsault from the top of the freaking cage. That would be insane. We got Andrade and Phoenix versus the Wyatt Six. All good wrestlers.
Yeah,
not a ton of
getting
story
the Wyatt Six in the mix,
me,
which
but
is nice. They're finally.
They should be, man. They just need reasons why. They need reasons why, and it's still too obscure for me, for my taste. I need them to have a clear cut reason why. We got Flair and Bliss versus Raquel and Roxanne, the unlikely duo, the odd couple of Flair and Bliss versus the young upstart Roxanne and the badass mama Raquel. And then we got Rhodes versus Cena in a street fight. Pretty damn good card so far. I mean, it's a lot of matches.
Yeah, dude. I'm here for all of that.
Yeah, bro. And it's 2 days, so we're gonna get a hell of a lot more. We're also gonna have Cargill versus Stratton. What else are we gonna? I don't know. We got a lot of shit coming. All right.
What's that one lady? Cardi B's gonna be there, maybe. She's hosting.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. All right.
So maybe she'll get into the mix. We got Jelly Roll Wrestling. We got all these famous people.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Maybe Cardi B gets in on some
triple threat. Triple threat. All right. On to AEW. We got a nice promo. Adam Page, man, he's been doing this thing lately. We got a nice promo from Adam Page. This is one of Jeff's guys right here, big time.
Love
him. He likes the cowboy. He likes the boots, the buckles. He likes the jacket with the fringe on it. He likes it all, people, because he's the last cowboy in Los Angeles.
That's right.
But he came out there and he cut a pretty solid promo. It started off as just kind of like fan servicing, which isn't my favorite. Like, it's you deserve it. But then it got into some real shit where he's like, yo, I owe some thank yous. I've been kind of a shit, and it's going to be hard to say thank you to a couple of these motherfuckers, but I'm going to do it. And he did, man. And I really liked it. Each thank you was different. Each thank you had a different, real, genuine, like, motivation behind it. I really liked the promo, but MJF is out there. And MJF cut a promo with MVP, and those two together, by the way, are so freaking good on the mic. They're so smooth, and their transitions are good, and they step in on each other. And MJF's like, "Look, man, I'm so glad that you won. I've already beat Moxley. F that guy. I can't wait to humiliate you and get back what's rightfully mine. I cannot wait for an MJF Hangman Page match." MJF has to win because eventually the Hurt Syndicate has to cast him out, and you get to a Bobby Lashley MJF match. But I've been liking Hangman Page so much lately. I don't know yet. We have to see how this story plays out. The story, MJF is a storyline wrestler, right? So the story will dictate who wins, not so much the match itself. Like, you can kind of get hints on how it's going to go based on what he's selling emotionally in each one of these promos. So I don't know just yet. It's too early, but I was super hyped for this. And there's no match yet, but this shit is coming, and it's going to be awesome, Jeff. He's your boy. Tell the people how great he is.
I think what they're doing is, I think that they're really, like, resetting his image. You know, like, it feels like we already like him, we already got it, but now they're trying to really, like, hone that in, as far as, like you said, like, he's trying to be like, you know what, I'm gonna make amends like we do in AA. You know, he's going, I thank everyone and show how appreciative I am. And so it's also when you've got MJF in a storyline, you know MJF is just gonna be MJF. There's no adjusting that character. MJF is the perfect, like, I think he's like the greatest mic person that's ever been in wrestling, with exception of Paul Heyman. But, like, it's like when it comes to, like, just knowing what he's doing, he's got this great wrestling sensibilities. I just really like what he does. And so you're not going to change that. MJF is already dialed in. And I think so you got Adam Page kind of resetting and retooling a little bit to perfectly make this storm. That's what I think.
I think that's dead on. I think that's a great take. I think that's dead on, dude. I can't friggin' wait. Copeland came out. He cut a promo. He said, I'm still not friends with Christian. That guy's an asshole. He's got to work some shit out, and we'll get to that storyline later. Is basically what he said. Stokely Hathaway came out, talked about FTR. Copeland, he came out with security, too, that had sweet hair. And Copeland didn't care about their sweet hair. He just beat up everybody and then speared poor Stokely. Dude, I like when Stokely gets fucked up. That's a little bit of stuff. There's not a ton, because the Hangman Page MJF thing is going to be so good. There's not room for really everything else that's going to happen out there. But that's pretty much our week in wrestling, you guys. I know I left out a couple things. If there's any final thoughts you had, Jeff, that you want to throw in there, we still got a little bit of time before we say goodbye.
I'm just happy. I'm happy, and I'm excited for SummerSlam.
I'm happy as well. We're going to do predictions next week on SummerSlam, but stay tuned for Unsanctioned Thursdays, where we don't know what we're going to talk about, but you'll find out if you listen. On behalf of Jeff, I'm Freddie. Peace.
Yeah.